a while. So you just want to get it up to, say, 40. Take a couple of ranks of the alchemy perk, and then take benefactor. And you also are going to want enchanting. So you get into the College of Winterhold, and you go to Sergius Turianus. You do the exact same thing of paying for a session, then you pickpocket and save. Pay for a session, and then pickpocket. So consequently, you're going to have maybe 3 ranks of alchemy perks and 2 or 3 ranks of enchanting perks. Generally, you want to hit like around 40 to 60. And the next things you want to do will be to get a Betian Longfin and Cyrodiilic Spadetail. You can get these two by traveling south of Solitude. They're 2 species of fish, and you just go in the river, swim up the river to where Dragon's Bridge is, and you'll find like schools of them swimming around in 3. Typically, you'll find enough, and you could find these in alchemy stores oftentimes if you cannot find enough in that river, but if you save them up, it should be an adequate number you acquire. You're also going to want salt piles, and salt piles are actually pretty easy to find. They're in a lot of barrels in the game, so every time just check a barrel. It might have cabbage, carrot, tomatoes, potatoes, but just you might find 4 salt piles. And there's guaranteed locations. They're everywhere. So salt is the one you want to combine with your Betian Longfin. You don't want to combine the 2 fish because it's just not as good of a use, because the salt is very common. So you want to maximize how many potions you could make rather than having to go and search for them, the ingredients. Now, once you got that, you're also going to want some Grand Souls. A way to get Grand Souls is to go to the giant camps and somehow take on the mammoths. If you're a low level, it's going to be a big problem. But if you're creative enough, you run enough, and you're patient enough, you could probably take them on, even on legendary. You just really have to have your patience tested for like 30 minutes. And it's critical that you somehow soul trap them. So you maybe have an enchantment that soul traps. You use the soul trap spell, which is the most practical way. There's also a perk that allows your bound weapons to soul trap enemies. So every time you strike, you'll get a little bit of soul trap effect going on. But you have to be careful because it doesn't seem to last as long. So you kind of have to keep consistently using it and maybe make the killing blow with that weapon. Thus, you really just want to have soul trap. And you also need a soul gem. So you can get soul gems just as loot in dungeons. You can pay a court mage for soul gems, and it's going to be cheaper to fill them from empty than to buy the ones that are already filled, of course. But the most reliable way for somebody that's on a budget would be to do Azura's Daedric quest. And either way you do this quest, you'll get an effective soul gem. As a matter of fact, the Necromantic Black Star is more practical because it allows you to take both white souls and mortal black souls. This is a matter of roleplay if you really want to engage in like necromancy with a soul card, but that will allow you to save up on having to use soul gems. Now, you want to basically get maybe 4 soul gems to start and try to make like a potion of Fortify Enchanting, and then enchant some Fortify Alchemy gear and try to reach an upper cap. And then subsequently you take your Fortify Restoration. You're just trying to reach a certain threshold where you can't really go any higher with your Fortify Alchemy potions. Then you can make a Fortify Restoration potion, and as I have discussed, basically keep increasing the magnitude of your Fortify Restoration potion with that alchemy effect. And subsequently, you'll have the armor you want. You'll have all the effects you want, because anything enchanted, any magical effect, will be far beyond what you even need to survive in ordinary gameplay, and you'll dominate. Something that's also broken, but a little bit more fun with this, is that if you take an Amulet of Talos, and you put Fortify Restoration effect on it, and then you de-equip it, you put it back on, it will retain the increase of magnitude of its enchantment. Its enchantment is to reduce the cooldown time between shouts. So quite quickly, you'll get a Fortify Restoration potion that works with an Amulet of Chalice that makes it so that you have no cooldown between shouts. What's great about that is that more realistically in lore, you just get to shout constantly like a dragon, and you get to benefit from the effects of shouts with the godlike power they bestow. Whirlwind sprinting everywhere, constantly causing thunderstorms. You can summon a dragon. The effects, you can just imagine. Ben Will, which is the only equivalent of command creature in this game. So that's something I want to point out as a great effect of Fortify Restoration glitches. Now, finally, I'd like to point out something a little bit more down to earth that still involves crafting. You see, normally when you progress through the crafting trees, you might have level 100 smithing, and you can smith a Daedric helmet or a Daedric sword, Dragonbone, to a higher degree with the effective perk. You can make it increase in magnitude, the damage, or the armor to a legendary effect. What if I told you, if that's a certain value, if that adds like 20 points to whatever it originally is, you can use the different crafting schools and make them work together to ultimately make a more powerful item. Well, as I show in this video, you can. You can do the things we've discussed just on a smaller, more balanced scale to reach a higher level of effectiveness with your weapons and armor. In this case, you might have to take less heavy armor perks to reach the armor cap because your armor is made to be more effective. And your weapons will be much more suited to dealing with the bullet sponges, or mace sponges, shall we say, of legendary mode. So basically what you're going to want to do is take Fortify alchemy gear that you've enchanted to reach the best possible level. You might want to use Fortify enchanting potions to make that Fortify alchemy gear. Once you do that, all you have to do is make a Fortify smithing potion or 5, and you drink the potion while you're at like a grinding stone or armor improving table, and you will have improvements to your swords that are typically 3 times the amount of damage that they would normally provide. You will have improvements to your armor so that you can get like 400 or 300 armor rating alone from a Dragonbone plate. So this effect will make your character stronger, but not so strong that you're going to be overpowered. However, I would still say that it's cooler to rely on not using crafting, because crafting can still be exploited to muddy the waters between what the normal like gameplay balancing should be, because you can overcome that normal gameplay balance with abusing the mechanics of the game's crafting. I hope you guys like this video, and pretty soon I'll be uploading my Skyrim playthrough where I'll show you my more legit progression through the game. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.
Fortify!